Oftentimes when you're taking any type of liquid or lozenge, they can be packed with sugars for flavor. And this one contains, Salam and hello everyone. Welcome to or welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are all doing very well. I am going to continue on the theme of health and wellness during the fall and winter months in this video. Now, I know some of you are experiencing the change in weather during the fall and winter months. Some of you may not, but I think this information will be beneficial for you because I'm going to be talking about echinacea. Now, echinacea, if you're not familiar with it, it is a flowering plant that has been used for centuries in certain traditional medicines. Now, modern research supports what we already know, and that echinacea is good for immune health and supporting the immune system, and it is very good during those cold and flu seasons, which I'm referring to. The fall and winter are usually heavy for the cold and flu seasons in certain regions of the world. So what I want to do in this video is I want to talk about why it's such a good immune booster and a good immune supporter. I want to talk about why it's actually best to use at the first sign of illness. And 3, I want to talk about why it's a seasonal ally. So you can use it seasonally, and it's best to use it seasonally, but you can use it throughout the year if you want. And then 4th, I want to talk about how it's usually taken. So what is the dosage form, or what is it like to take it as a tea, a tincture, a capsule or a pill, etc., etc. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. So keep watching. So first, echinacea is well known for its role in boosting the body's defenses. Studies suggest that it can help activate white blood cells, those cells that fight off infections like cold and other bugs that are caused by bacteria and viruses. So many people, when they start to feel run down, that is their go-to. That is their number one thing to try is echinacea. And I don't blame them. It is very good at fighting off that first sign of illness. And that's what I want to talk about next, is that when echinacea is used, research actually shows that echinacea works best when you take it at the very beginning of symptoms like a sore throat or a stuffy nose or a runny nose or a little bit of congestion. As long as your ailments or your symptoms don't wipe you completely out and it's not a sign of a more serious infection that you're having a hard time dealing with over-the-counter agents and herbal remedies, then you should be able to use echinacea and be confident that echinacea will help you in getting better. It doesn't act like an instant cure, but it may reduce the severity and length of a cold by giving your immune system, an extra backup right when it needs it the most. And I've talked about echinacea, I've talked about garlic and ginger, those things you can use at the first sign of not feeling too well. In this video here, I talk about the properties of garlic and why it is such an underrated vegetable compared to something like ginger root. And if you're interested, after watching this video, go check out this video on garlic and how eating raw garlic, even just a little bit, can really help you, especially when you get a little tinkling in your throat at the beginning of a cold. And many of you have tried garlic for different reasons, but in terms of cold and getting well and staying well and really keeping your immune system boosted, things like echinacea, garlic, ginger, they do go far. So check out that video when you have time. Echinacea is also seen as the seasonal wellness ally. Now, I've spoken about this just a moment ago, is that echinacea is used heavily in the cold and flu seasons during this time of the year. Now, with regards to how to take echinacea, there are multiple ways. There are capsules, there is tea, there is lozenges, but there's also liquid form. In this liquid form, I've used this many of times in the past. I just bought a new bottle. This is liquid echinacea with golden seal. Now, this is a very dark, rich amber color. It doesn't taste super great, but it's very beneficial. I'll be honest with you, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I want to see what other ingredients, because I know oftentimes when you're taking any type of liquid or lozenge, they can be packed with sugars for flavor. And this one contains organic vegetable glycerin. So that's the sweetener in all of this. It's a sweetener, and then it has deionized water. So in addition to your extract blend, which includes the echinacea and the golden seal, you do have other things like carriers meaning it's a substance that'll help, get the echinacea into your system, which includes the glycerin, the vegetable glycerin, and deionized water. Now, I've used glycerin before to make my own, my own tinctures or my own liquid drops. And, It is what it is. You do have to use something, and that it's not that bad, to be honest with you. So you have liquid drops here. You also have tea blends, and I typically use loose leaf teas, and I'll show you here right now. Typically, you would want to use 1 teaspoon of loose leaf echinacea tea, and you would add that to 8 ounces of water, of hot water. You would steep it in your tea and enjoy it like that. If you want to, you can add a little bit of ginger to your tea. You can add a little bit of honey, a little bit of lemon, make it a full-on, health remedy and a health concoction that's going to be good for your immune system. I really like that combination. Now you also have drops, you also have the pill, or the capsule, I should say, or even lozenges. I don't have lozenges with me, but you can use a pill form. I think that depending on, it all boils down to your preference and your desired concentration. The drops get into your system faster. They get into your system faster and are easily absorbed. Teas take a little bit of time. They are less concentrated. And it's kind of like if you want something warm and kind of like cozy, something to warm up your hands, your system, that's when you would go for the tea. And then of course, if you need something quick, or you just don't care, you want to take something orally because you're used to taking your daily pills or your daily supplements, you could just tack that onto your daily regimen. Then you would go for a capsule. So I think that would be great for you too. The most important thing for you to do is be consistent. Some people like to take echinacea long term, every day or every week, something that fits into their daily supplement regimen. So I would consider looking into that. Like, how would it fit into your daily immune support system? Then I would also just make sure you consider that, understand when your body is in need of an immune boost, like a cold is coming on, or you feel a cough, or you feel run down. Sometimes it's really necessary to understand your body and what it means to be under stress, and how you react to that stress, because that's going to be the best time for you to react. Typically, we want to make sure we are regulated so that we don't fall under too much stress, or we don't find ourselves so down and out. But that is very rare. Sometimes we're doing a lot, and then we realize that at the end of a certain amount of time that we've done too much, and that we need to recover, we need to rest, because maybe our sleep is off, maybe we're doing too much during the day, maybe our body's not recovering the way it needs to recover. So I do want you to consider echinacea. If you haven't tried echinacea, look into the drops, the teas, the capsules, the lozenges. Try to understand a little bit more about how it might help you, especially during the season. Let me know in the comments if you are a fan of echinacea. How often do you take echinacea? Does your family take echinacea? And yeah, let me know in the comments all that information. So I do thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.